legitimately priority one, get the radiation nullifier, get back to Earth. Once Earth is safe, fight all the Gamblins you want. There's no longer... Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with another episode of Space Battleship Yamato. I do have the board, which will be linked down below as per normal, but there are no changes to it. Literally no character relationships changed from essentially what they've always been. No new characters got introduced, so if you feel the need and want to see what the board looked like, it's the same as last time, and as always is linked in the same place. Beyond that, though, we do have notes. Kodai is just being a little shit all the time, it seems. We see him poking fun at Shima during very important navigation segments in the past, but this episode takes the cake. I mean, just playing games, and Shima implies that he takes back winning moves just to make Kodai feel better about the game. And the one time he doesn't, Kodai flips the board. Like, I get that it takes two to tango, and Shima is not wholly without blame, in that he takes the bait every time, but Kodai is the instigator most of the times we've seen so far. Shima says that they launched on October 9th, which is fine, but that it took them 10 days to leave the solar system. October 19th is when they defeated the Pluto base. It wasn't until November 27th that they left the solar system. That's 39 days, not 10. He says they reached the galactic edge 10 days after that, which we got no note for, and that they were supposed to be halfway to Iskender at planet Balan at the 45-day mark. Their actual 45-day mark would have been December 3rd, the day before Yamato escapes the Gambless trap at Orion. Either way, Shima's schedule added in 30 days for being waylaid, with a window of getting back 90 days before extinction. And now they are 60 days behind schedule, twice the wiggle room allowed, meaning that even if everything is smooth sailing from here on and right on plan, they'd only have 60 days left when they got back. You might recognize that that is because they are... well, I've done the math for you. I don't need to do the math again. Past me did it once. That's fine. I think I said it during the reaction, but I wish they had gone over why sitting and waiting was the better plan than going around. They often treat space as a 2D plane, when in fact it feels like they could have just decided sometime back to have warped above, or, below, or just to the side of this area of space and then gone around it. I get that it's massive, but that's what warp is for. Not for nothing, but time spent warping is also time spent getting clear to the goal, rather than sitting still going nowhere. Also, if the area is that massive that you can't warp around it, then just slowly passing through the center of it at non-warp speed would take a massive amount of time as well. The fact that the Yamato goes through it inside of like 5 to 10 minutes seems to imply that it wasn't that big at all. Mori even suggests going around it when Shima expresses doubt about whether the path through really exists in the first place. I don't know if the Yamato has sensor probes or not, but in thinking about it, it occurred to me that Kodai probably would have pulled this dumb fighter stunt even if they did. That's the kind of rash impulsiveness they are pushing on him time and time again now. Also, the punishment scene where everyone is cleaning the hangar, really showing off that the Yamato had a severe discipline problem, despite previous episodes expressing that the captain would not stand for such things. Okatai says their food stock is for 2 months, so say 60 days. At this point, they've been traveling around 59 to the last recorded time marker, so around 120 days. Plus maybe the 20 days that they've been waiting here, so 140 days. Sorry, I realize that's confusing at the start. Okadai says that they have 2 months left. I'm not saying 2 months total, so I'm not arguing that they're well beyond 60 days. I'm just saying they have 2 months of food left. And they have been traveling for 59 days, past their last recorded time, so 120 plus the 20 they've been sitting here. They've been traveling 140 days total so far, on top of the 60 days of food that they have left in the future. Shima had said that their original plan was to make it to Iskander in 110 days, with 30 days of wiggle room for unknowables. Essentially 140 days. So their 2 months of food that's left was clearly only ever meant to get them to Iskander, either implying that they were never supposed to return, or that they were meant to take on supplies from Iskander, something they would never be able to know ahead of time if they would be able to do so. At least the timeline is matching up, which is a detail that I appreciate that they took the effort into thinking about. I get that the Gamlis ship isn't a warship, but even if it's just a supply ship, where is it going? We already covered that we are just barely out of the galaxy, so it must be heading to our galaxy. Also, we are pretty close to them. We're pretty close to the arm that our system is on. A system they've expressed interest in clearly. I'd have to be worried that they are rebuilding in the system or sending stuff to start the invasion of Earth. I wouldn't be surprised if we get back and Gamlis people on Earth with bases already built. Obviously, this is the only episode past like the first that I don't think I need to say the date stuff for, but it is January 1st according to my schedule. And I think that's what the title of the episode itself implied. So, we are officially in 2200. That said, though, that is everything for my notes, so I guess there's nothing left to do here but to hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Desperate Escape, the Yamato in alternative space. You know, I keep saying these words not for nothing, but not for nothing. We are constantly making desperate escapes. I know Yamato is not like the most high-tech ship in space in this setting, so the element that we're never in a situation that we overpower, not unexpected. At the same time, we are constantly running away from stuff. Or the title would suggest that, right? I feel like there's been a number of titles that have suggested that we've run away from things that in the episode we actually defeat. But just thinking about it, I kind of wish that we would run across a secondary enemy that wasn't Gamlis. One, prove that the space is populated, that Gamlis is fighting other things, as that one episode implied by the Admiral returning. But also that there might be other people out there weaker than us that one, we might fight, but also people that we might shepherd, right? To have a bunch of weaker ships around the Yamato that one expresses how strong the Yamato really is, while at the same time being people that we could help. Like, I know we are on a time crunch here. We can't be doing that. Something I would like to see. Meanwhile, in history, the panning shots to subterranean cities have been getting worse and worse. If I was part of the Earth Defense Forces, I think I would start sacrificing people. Not for, stuff. Send them to the surface and start, piling the radiation stuff into rockets. Get it off the planet or something. Buy us some extra time. Is alternative space just going to be deep space, or is it going to be some sort of warp effect? Okay, we're explaining the secondary bridge. Also, I would want some sort of covered cup, considering how much rocking around the ship does sometimes. I was about to say, maybe she's responsible for putting all the other women into cryo sleep. Uh-oh, character got named who never got named before. First one to die in a death scenario. Yeah, I would say 45 days. I had a whole meeting about this. Cute. It's cute. At the same time, it's really up to the engines. They can optimize the engines to go any faster. And then, navigation. But we're basically warping it straight lines. Meanwhile, on planet Eye of Sauron. Why did they choose Planet Balin to be the place that they headed to? Like, I'm assuming they didn't know that Gamlis had a base here. It's gonna be our Admiral guy? No, different guy. Gale. Just Gale. With a giant fucking fleet. Oh, okay. Maybe Gale's meeting the Admiral. That Admiral guy's gonna be coming back, even though he's on vacation. Don't trip. Okay, I think this is our guy. Yep, Domel. Admiral Domel. See, at least they're expressing that Gamlis has this massive fleet and everything. It's the same shot. Oh, now we're using the same calendar? Also, Domel's earned medals and shit, so... Yeah, I mean, you could just order me to pack it away. You don't have to destroy my shit. Alright. To be fair, Gale is a bit of a perv, it seems like, but at the same time, Domel's a bit of an ass. They are implying Dimension 4, which makes me think it is alternative space. I mean, I would think in deep space it wouldn't be that much stuff objecting your vision. So you'd still have like readings on how distant stuff was. Sorry. Good eye, face down, ass up. Also, the indication, sorry, it just entered my head. The indication that Gamlis is not only a galactic empire, but a multi-dimensional empire as well. Why are you thrusting your fist in his face as though it's going to change anything? Well, are we going to get sucked in to the fourth dimension? Sorry, did he say Dimension 4, Sector 6, or did he say Dimension 6, Sector 4? I think it was somewhat reminiscent of Ulysses 6? Sorry, I can't remember the name of the show. Part Japanese animation, part French animation. Also sci-fi, space sort of thing. Sometimes the backgrounds feel very reminiscent of that for some reason. Even though I think Ulysses 26 came out like 20 years after this. I guess you can just, like, pilot yourself into other dimensions. That's something you actively had to do. Okay, I guess we're not in another dimension then. Forget me. I legit don't know if that's real science or not. To be fair, more often than not, they're accurate about the space stuff, just not the planet stuff, so I'm willing to buy into it. And if not, hey, it's sci-fi. Whatever. Oh, so I was right. They are in fourth dimensional space, which is normal space. I'm guessing that's a Gamlis ship? Is it going to be the one on the test thing that they were doing before from the Dommel thing? Or is it going to be a ship that's just been trapped here forever? Never mind, that seems like the Dommel fleet. That's a shame. I feel like we really could have done without the Dommel thing just yet and just had an encounter with Gamlis. Like, follow the pilot that we took, that we had like a positive interaction with. and have a secondary positive interaction with a trapped gameless ship that can't escape the fourth dimension. Could be a totally whole episode. I feel like it would have been like classic TNG. Yeah, and also we don't have the time. Literally, we need to make a run for Iskander. We're actually way out of time already. Legitimately, priority 1, get the radiation nullifier, get back to Earth. Once Earth is safe, fight all the Gamblins you want. There's no longer... Yeah, don't be more of a prick, Kodai. I mean, they noticed it. It's the only thing around them. You're saying they're smarter than they look. Is there some... Can you not fight in the fourth dimension? Is that going to be a thing? I was about to say, because it looked like they struck the ship with their last shot, and it almost looked like they were intentionally missing. I mean, to be fair, if you're stuck in fourth dimensional space, then all of humanity will die regardless. Really wanted to make the Gambless fleet look huge, but slow for some reason. Like I said, really feels like they're missing on purpose. We've had no indication that they have like Stormtrooper aim before. Or at least not from the early episodes, maybe I'm forgetting something from like the Pluto attack. I mean, I didn't see any effect from that, but I guess I'm wrong about the whole... Yeah, what is it about the fourth dimension that they're so worried about? Is it twisting the beams or something? Because it seems like the Yamato beam twisted in space. Or maybe they're trying to electrolyze or magnetize the outside of the ship because it'll... It's very clear that they're shooting around the edge of the ship. I recognize we're trying to make them bad shots on purpose, but even bad shots wouldn't be 100% missing the outside. Because you're aiming to hit... I don't know. Because even then, I'd be asking... I'm waiting for the characters to ask, why aren't they hitting us? Oh, this has been rare.
あなた方の地球出発からずっとヤマトを見つめてきました。あなた方はいかなる試練にも打ち勝たなければなりません。私はあなた方の愛と勇気と
So Iskandarians are omniscient?
さあ、次元羅針盤の示す方向へヤマトを走らせなさい。私はイスカンダルのスターシア。
Also, if they could communicate at range like this, why did she send her sister to die on Mars with a recording? That doesn't make a lot of sense. And also, when did you get your power back? Did she, like, repower the ship, or did the power go down because she was contacting the ship? Like, legitimately, I can't even blame this one, like, on tactics or anything, like I could with the Pluto base attack. They just have missed for, like, 10 minutes straight. Also, not for nothing, doesn't this imply that the Iskandarians could upgrade the Yamato systems from a distance? Because they seem to have upgraded the compass thing to this new version. So couldn't they just send the radiation elimination thing straight to Earth? Cool, we've hit the Yamato 4 times in 10 minutes. For some reason, I thought they said cannon and not engine. Dude, you're technically still on vacation. Man, that's the benefit. Either you defeat the Yamato on vacation, or you didn't lose at all, technically, you were just on vacation. I wouldn't even be thinking that the place didn't exist, considering how much hope she had leveled on it. Yeah, what the fuck was that?
おい、島、 まさかお前。俺の好きなのはスターシアさ。スターシアか。どうやらライバルは当分続きそうだな。
Person that we've only seen the giant face of. Also, I don't know, that just feels wrong. Legitimately. They're trying to help you, and you're like, I want me some of that. Wake up one of the women. One of the women you have a shot with.
1月7日、ヤマトに遭遇。侮りがたし。
Yeah, no shit. Also, I guess implying that they have a language that we can actually decipher. They're quickly going to run out of time. We're already behind time and getting waylaid constantly. 273 days left. That guy in engineering who was talking about settling a different planet, I think he is probably on the right train of thought now. Because how far behind we are. Unless we get to Iskander and they've got like an even better engine to send him home. Admiral Jones' ship, the Domo Large 2, was originally a heavy battleship bigger than the Yamato. Tail was shortened, but the bow and the bridge remained unchanged after the redesign. Based on what? On January 5th, 2200, the 86th day since the Yamato target was caught by the magic of the storm, which actually exists and allows the flow. Okay, so it does exist. Then it was trapped. The fighter Kato was maintaining was the Cosmo Zero, painted in black tiger scheme, but it didn't show up until a later episode. The day after the escapes, January 7th. Sorry, I realize that sometimes I'm just running out of time to say this stuff, so I try to jump ahead to get whatever important piece of information is actually there. And really, this time they didn't share much other than the fact that a ship's design and the fighter craft are being explained to us that was not explained in the show. I'm guessing that, like that magazine that we took the information from, there was just additional side material being put out there at the time that this information would have been known from, because I honestly get nothing from where the editors are taking their stuff from. However, sometimes they do reference, like, this, we know this about what happened in this episode because 10 episodes from now they're going to explain this. It's like, oh, the editors are adding additional information through future context, which not 100% a fan of. I appreciate when they add stuff like, oh, this is actually a real thing, or this is the time span that's happening, or this is what was said in outside material that you, in the future, might not know exists, but we're going to tell you. So, I'm still in my love-hate relationship with the editors on this show, which, again, isn't part of the show. The stuff that the translators and everybody are adding after the fact. I'm assuming that. I think it said translator's notes. So, I'm in a love-hate relationship with the translator right now, not having anything to do with the show. Yeah, again, the element that they put all the women into cryosleep, essentially, like, not officially, but in a joke response in a magazine, and now these two are, like, leering at the person who's trying to save humanity. Not great. They gave all the ships Stormtrooper aim, too. I'm not super in love with that. Like, you gotta make the threat real, or what are the stakes? I've said this in so many shows now. What are the stakes at play? If you're not going to give us anything that's actually a threat, then we shouldn't be having fights. We already have the threat that we're not going to make it on time, even if we run straight there and back. So just adding on to that with fights that don't matter, not very important. Also, Domal typing on a typewriter. I think sci-fi existed for long enough by then that even though this is real early in the anime run of things, they could have come up with more than a typewriter. Yeah. And again, I don't really know what the point of introducing the fourth dimension was, because it didn't really affect anything. Like, some ships lost power there, but we just had space magic come and save us. And then that space magic really has to explain itself because you threw your sister out and she died because you sent her to Earth to crash land and send a message when you could have just projected yourself through space. Some future episode has to address that communications technology and why it couldn't have been used there or what the cost of using it is, because otherwise I'm going to have a problem with that. Otherwise, I guess the most enjoyable part of this episode to me was, what's her name? Mahao? Sometimes I just forget the characters' names. Mori, sorry. The Mori thing with the coffee at the very beginning. It was fun, it was entertaining. The fact that she also just kind of wants to have a relationship. I don't know if she's just like looking for something or if she wants to make her mother happy back on Earth who's trying to, set her up with a relationship of some sort. I like that. It's fun. And then when they did the Sasha overlay on her face, fun. It's fun. That said, though, I don't really have that much else to talk about. Not a lot happened in this episode, really. Not a thing of real import, I feel like, other than my complaints about what that portends to the show moving forwards. So that said, I think that's going to be it for me in this episode. So once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?